Leaked conversations have surfaced suggesting Aston Martin isn't just hiring talent, they're planning a direct strike at Red Bull's core by targeting Max Verstappen's race engineer. This engineer isn't any team member, he is the key link between Verstappen and Red Bull's race-winning strategies. If he moves, Red Bull's dominance could unravel before 2026 even starts. The chats hint at a carefully orchestrated plan, including tactics, timing, and influence that no other team has ever attempted. The full scale of Aston Martin's intentions is still unseen, and potentially game-changing. Later in the video, we'll uncover secrets from the leak that could show how this single move might destabilize Red Bull, affect Verstappen's performance, and reshape the entire F1 grid in ways fans haven't imagined. Aston Martin's recent maneuvers in the Formula One paddock are sending shockwaves through the championship's inner circle. At the center of this unfolding drama is Gianpiero Lambiase, Max Verstappen's longtime race engineer, whose influence on Red Bull's dominance has been immense for nearly a decade. Leaked conversations indicate that Aston Martin is attempting to recruit him into a senior leadership role, potentially as team principal or head of operations for 2026. This is not a simple personnel change, it is a strategic strike aimed at the very core of Red Bull's operational machinery, a move that could reshape competitive dynamics long before the first 2026 race. Lambiase's role goes beyond traditional engineering. He functions as the crucial bridge between Verstappen's instincts and the team's strategic execution, translating split-second driver feedback into actionable race strategies, car setup adjustments, and tactical decisions under extreme pressure. His departure would not only remove technical expertise but also disrupt a finely tuned feedback loop that has consistently produced race-winning results. Aston Martin's pursuit suggests that they recognize the value of this human element as much as the technical skills, understanding that dismantling Red Bull may begin with dismantling its operational brain. The timing of this potential move amplifies its impact. Red Bull is deep in preparations for integrating their 2026 power unit while simultaneously adapting to sweeping regulatory changes. Any disruption within the engineering hierarchy at this stage could produce cascading effects, slight inefficiencies in development, delayed strategic decisions, or miscommunication during crucial race weekends. The leaked chats imply that Aston Martin's approach is deliberately designed to exploit this vulnerable window, leveraging both timing and strategic knowledge to maximize impact while remaining under the radar. Leaked discussions reportedly include specifics about the engineer's potential responsibilities, highlighting oversight of race operations, development strategy, and integration of feedback loops that guide car and driver performance. This integration could allow Aston Martin to absorb not just his technical skills but also Red Bull's operational methodology, the unwritten rules, processes, and psychological mechanisms that have made the team nearly untouchable. By securing Lambiase, Aston Martin could effectively compress years of accumulated operational intelligence into a single off-season advantage. Human factors play a crucial role in this scenario. Sources suggest that personal circumstances, including family considerations, have made Aston Martin's offer particularly compelling. The proposed role promises both influence and flexibility, providing a rare balance between professional advancement and personal needs. These subtle personal incentives are critical, highlighting that strategic decisions in Formula One extend beyond the track. They involve the people who make split-second decisions that can win or lose races. For Red Bull, the stakes are monumental. Lambiase is part of a tightly knit core that includes Adrian Newey, Helmut Marko, and other senior strategists. His potential exit could destabilize internal communication, strategy execution, and driver confidence. Even minor disruptions within this network can lead to measurable losses on the track. The leaked chats are therefore not just about recruitment, they are a warning signal that Red Bull's internal stability could be compromised at a time when cohesion is most vital. Finally, the broader implications extend across the entire paddock. Aston Martin has been systematically hiring top-tier talent from Red Bull over recent seasons, assembling a nucleus capable of challenging the reigning champions. The possible addition of Lambiase could complete this transformation, giving Aston Martin both technical capability and operational insight to effectively mirror and counter Red Bull's strategies. The Formula One community is watching closely, aware that this is more than a personnel story. It may mark the beginning of a shift in the sport's competitive hierarchy, one that could define the 2026 season and beyond. The leaked chats reveal Aston Martin's intentions in a way that goes beyond ordinary recruitment. According to sources, the messages outline the engineer's potential scope of responsibility, including race day operations, strategic input for car development, and oversight of feedback loops between Verstappen and his engineering team. The precision of these messages suggests a deliberate, methodical approach rather than a casual offer. Aston Martin appears to be mapping not just the role but the influence this engineer has on Red Bull's championship winning system, identifying exactly how to replicate or neutralize it within their own organization. What makes the leak particularly alarming is the specificity of operational knowledge discussed. References to Verstappen's preferred communication patterns, the timing of real-time car adjustments, and nuanced decision-making during critical race moments indicate Aston Martin is targeting not only technical expertise but also the human operational framework that supports Red Bull's dominance. This is knowledge embedded through years of collaboration, intuition, and trust, something that cannot be gleaned from data alone. The leaked chats suggest Aston Martin fully appreciates the strategic advantage of acquiring this expertise. Timing plays a crucial role. The leaked discussions coincide with Red Bull's integration of the 2026 power unit and adaptation to upcoming regulatory changes. This period demands flawless coordination across engineering, strategy, and driver feedback channels. Any disruption or distraction involving a key figure like Verstappen's engineer could introduce subtle inefficiencies that compound over weeks and months. The leak implies that Aston Martin's approach is deliberately calibrated to maximize impact during this critical window, striking when Red Bull's operational rhythm is most vulnerable. The messages also hint at a layered strategy that balances discretion with influence. Aston Martin reportedly emphasized confidentiality, gradual integration, and building trust prior to formal negotiations. This suggests the goal is not only to secure the engineer's technical skills but also to gain insight into Red Bull's internal decision-making processes and culture. By embedding themselves in this way, Aston Martin could anticipate Red Bull's moves, counter strategies before they are executed, and accelerate their own development curve, creating a competitive advantage even before the first race. There are psychological implications as well. The engineer functions as a stabilizing force between Verstappen and Red Bull's operational decision-making. His potential departure could unsettle communication dynamics, reduce confidence in real-time decisions, and disrupt the seamless interaction that has historically given Red Bull an edge. The leaked chats indicate Aston Martin is aware of this leverage, treating the move as a tactical instrument to indirectly affect Red Bull's performance by targeting the human link that translates driver instincts into championship-winning execution. The ripple effect is already being felt in the paddock. Teams are speculating not only about the potential move but also about the broader operational vulnerabilities it exposes. The uncertainty generated by the leaked chats forces Red Bull to rethink contingency plans, internal responsibilities, and strategy alignment, even if the engineer remains officially with the team for now. This creates a psychological and operational pressure that rivals can exploit, turning an apparent single-person negotiation into a wider strategic leverage point affecting the entire 2026 championship landscape. Finally, the most striking aspect of the leak is what it does not show. Only partial chats have emerged, leaving gaps that fuel speculation and uncertainty. These gaps may conceal additional tactics, timing strategies, or coordination with other teams. The incomplete nature of the leak intensifies tension, as Red Bull, Verstappen, and the paddock are left to imagine the full scope of Aston Martin's plan. The potential consequences, technical, operational, and psychological, extend far beyond what has been revealed, leaving the championship's future hanging in the balance and the audience eager to see what unfolds next. The true twist is that Aston Martin's move is not merely a personnel acquisition, it is a carefully orchestrated attempt to undermine Red Bull's operational backbone. Sources indicate that by targeting Verstappen's race engineer, Aston Martin is aiming to acquire not only technical knowledge but also the psychological insight that allows Red Bull to execute split-second decisions flawlessly. This engineer is the bridge between Verstappen's instincts and Red Bull's systems, and his departure could dismantle that synergy, creating openings for Aston Martin to exploit before the first 2026 race. Timing plays a crucial role in the strategic impact. Red Bull is in the midst of integrating its 2026 Ford power unit and adapting to sweeping regulation changes that will redefine car performance and operational procedures. Any disruption in the communication and decision-making chain could introduce inefficiencies that cascade into miscalculations on track. The leaked chats imply that Aston Martin is aware of this vulnerability and is positioning their approach to coincide with this sensitive period, maximizing the potential to destabilize Red Bull quietly and effectively. Beyond technical knowledge, the twist has a profound psychological dimension. Verstappen's relationship with his engineer is built on years of trust and understanding, allowing instantaneous translation of instinct into actionable strategy. The leaked messages indicate Aston Martin is exploiting this human element, understanding that the perception of potential loss can create tension, hesitation, and misalignment in Red Bull's operations. Even before any formal move occurs, the mere possibility of a change could erode confidence, subtly shifting competitive dynamics in Aston Martin's favor. The leaks also hint at a larger, more systemic strategy. While Aston Martin is the immediate beneficiary, the potential destabilization could create opportunities for other teams to exploit Red Bull's internal adjustments and uncertainties. This transforms what might have seemed like a singular hiring story into a wider strategic lever, where multiple rivals could indirectly benefit from Red Bull's disruption, altering the balance of power not through car development alone, but through internal vulnerability and psychological leverage. Operationally, the stakes are enormous. The engineer in question oversees critical race day functions, including energy deployment, tire management, and instantaneous strategy adaptation. According to the leaked chats, Aston Martin intends to absorb these skills and integrate them into their own workflow, allowing them to predict, counter, or preempt Red Bull's actions before the team can react. The strategy is not about immediate gains, it's about reshaping the competitive landscape ahead of 2026, compressing years of insight into a single off-season advantage. The potential ripple effects extend beyond the track. Red Bull's internal cohesion depends on stability and trust among key personnel. A targeted extraction of a central figure threatens to fracture this network, introducing delays, miscommunications, and subtle inefficiencies. The leaked chats suggest that Aston Martin is deliberately leveraging this potential fragility, aiming to create disruptions that, while minor individually, could cumulatively compromise Red Bull's race performance, team morale, and strategic decision-making over an entire season. Finally, this twist reframes Formula One as a contest of operational intelligence and strategic foresight as much as engineering excellence. Aston Martin's potential acquisition signals a new level of competitive maneuvering, where the manipulation of human capital and internal knowledge is as decisive as car speed. The paddock now watches closely, aware that Red Bull's dominance may be challenged not by a faster machine, but by a carefully executed campaign to strip the team from within. The ramifications of this twist are only beginning to unfold, promising a 2026 season unlike any before.